Man, it is so beautiful outside right now. It's just kind of sprinkling, it's like overcast but warm, and the air is fresh, and it's just a good morning. And you know what this is? Well, you don't know exactly what this is, but it's from Insta360, so it's gotta be good. Alright, this is the Insta360 GO. And man, this thing is tiny. I knew it was going to be small. I didn't know it was going to be quite that small. It is just microscopic. Just for perspective, here it is on a tablespoon. Don't freak out, it is water resistant. Anyway, I'm going to be doing an unboxing. I'm going to show you what comes in the box, what accessories it has. Then I'm going to test it out, give you kind of my first impressions review. Starting out on the right, we've got a generic kind of base plate here with 1/4-20 threads on one side and a sticky back. This is pretty self-explanatory. You can kind of stick it anywhere and mount your camera. Next up, we have a chest mount. You just slip it over your head. Goes right behind your shirt here, and it's a magnetic plate. And then the GO just boop, sticks right on there like that. Next, we have another base plate. This is magnetic, so the camera can just snap right on there, and again, this just has a sticky back just to flush mount your camera to just about any smooth surface. Next up, we have a clip mount. Camera snaps in here, again, just magnetic. And then this opens up so that you can clip it right onto stuff like your hat. Then we have another mounting stand. On the bottom, we have the 1/4-20 threads. Camera, magnetic, snaps right into there. And this is great for hooking to tripods or just about any other camera equipment with 1/4-20 threads. And this has a swivel mount here so it can pivot around and even go all the way over sideways. And last of all, we have the charging case. Now the charging base is sort of dual purpose. It has a micro USB port here in the side, so we can plug that in and charge the camera, but also when you unplug it, it's still charging because this actually is a battery. So it will charge off of this, continue to charge even after it is unplugged. So you can just be carrying it around in your pocket and it's charging the camera. Also, you can transfer your files from the camera onto your phone or onto your PC via the micro USB. And if you're using an iPhone, you actually have a plug right here in the base. Alright, so now you guys have the perspective from the GO. And there's 4 things I always like to look at when I first open the camera is how do skin tones look when you're looking at people? Audio quality, which you guys can hear right now. Then third, how does big landscape photos look or videos? And then how does close-up look? So looking at the video footage so far, I'm not overly impressed with it. It's only 1080p and it seems to get pretty fragmented sometimes, but considering how small of a camera this is, I'm not disappointed either. I mean, it's this small, so you gotta take that into consideration, and when you do, it's actually pretty usable footage. And we haven't even got to the special features yet we're about to dive into. First feature I want to test out is the video stabilization, which is supposed to be pretty phenomenal. There's 2 things we're going to look at with stabilization. The first one being the shake test. So I'm just going to be shaking it around and go for a run and see how that looks. And the second test will be the spin test, because this is supposed to compensate for a 360-degree rotation. So that will be our second test. I'm going to use the chest mount and go for a run. Okay, so to get a good understanding of how much this actually is stabilizing, let's look at some side-by-side footage. Here it is on the left. It is not stabilized at all, and on the right, the stabilization is turned on. and it's certainly a whole lot better than not having any stabilization at all. All right, let's move on to the spin test. I'm going to be hooking this in the swivel mount. Just snaps right in there. This can tilt back like that. And now we can easily just spin this around. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the footage. That's pretty good. It is a little wobbly, but just for comparison, here it is side by side. So on the left, it is not stabilized, and on the right, it is stabilized. So even though it is a little bit wobbly, it is doing a great job at keeping everything right side up. So I walked in the house with this on, and my fiance was like, "Whoa, you look like Iron Man with this like electronic thing stuck in your chest." So apparently she thought it was pretty like weird that this was here, but personally I feel like it's pretty low profile, and I could actually see myself wearing this to go on a run or to walk around town and not feel like I'm drawing a ton of attention to myself, especially compared to like this. This is heavy enough that I notice it, it's super uncomfortable, and it looks absolutely ridiculous. I'm never gonna wear this unless I'm purposely filmmaking. I'm not gonna wear it for like daily vlogging or something like that. The Go, on the other hand, is actually sort of practical. Because it doesn't have any straps, it's really comfortable, it's lightweight, and I can put it on and half a second later I totally forget about that I'm even wearing it, and it's low profile enough I don't think most people are even gonna notice it. So that's the one thing to take into consideration. Are you willing to forsake some camera quality for convenience? And that's exactly what this is. It gives you pretty good camera quality for the size and a ton of convenience. Alright, I haven't even got to all of the camera features yet. We still have Hyperlapse to try out and slow-mo 100 frames per second, so I'm excited to try that out. Let's see how this time-lapse mode looks. I have some really nice puffy clouds going on. It's raining just a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and set this up over here, see what we get. The time-lapse mode has two different settings. It has hyperlapse mode and it has time-lapse mode. The ones you just watched were hyperlapses, and they go for 30 minutes max, whereas if you have it set on time-lapse mode, it can extend the recording time. I'm really excited to try out the slow-mo, so I'm gonna do that. I've got a balloon filled with water here, and I'm gonna slice it in half with a sword and be recording it at that 100 frames per second.
So right, feel so alive, I feel so alive.
Alright guys, more of my videos right here. If you want an Insta360 GO, link in the description below. Alright, see you next time.